Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the farmstead. Welcome back to Hell Mode Farming Edition. So the M needs a full engine remakeover. So we're going to continue the teardown and order parts and do that. That's all going to be this separate Farmall M engine rebuild. Since this is going to be down for probably at least another week or two, I need to upgrade the Farmall H to be able to run the mowing machine and the bale wrapper. Now this one has a hydraulic pump which boosts the hydraulics. However, all of the hydraulics that I need can be run by the belly hydraulics of these tractors. So this is a little bit of an extra setup for this tractor. The important part is having both of these, which are Pioneer 4250s out back here. This is a 4250. This is an older version of that, but same idea. So the idea is to get two of these back here on the Farmall H, which is out front, which currently has an electrical problem. So I'm going to pause this project, get that one's hydraulics up and running, get the electrics on it up and running. I should be able to do that today, and then be able to go back to hang and working with that one while I do a full engine rebuild on this one. So that's what we need over there. I'm going to take a break, go over there, show you what we have, come back here and show you the upgrades that we're doing. Okay, so as we can see, there are no rear hydraulics currently here on this H. It does have this, and the belly hydraulics are set up and ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another 90 off of this, and we're going to add a T off of this so that the hydraulic closes. So this will be the out, this will be the return. Will come, they'll run right along here, right underneath the seat, and I will have the same setup with two female hydraulic quick connects right here. I might tie into this to hook them down, or I might let them just dangle right here. I haven't figured that out yet. So I'm going to go put the adapters together. I just got the hoses and everything, so we're going to put all of that together back underneath in the carport. Then we'll bring it out here, hook it all up, and that will be the Farmall H hydraulic upgrades to run the mowers and the bale wrapper. Okay everybody, it is raining again just because I went and grabbed the hydraulic cover. So this was together, and that was the inlet to the hydraulics stomach of the H. Now I am going to use the stomach hydraulics, which means I need one of these screwed into the angle that's already there. The other end is going to go on one of these hose ends, and then the other side of that will be one of these Pioneer 4250s. So that way everything is universal, same O-ring, same connections. I'm trying to make everything as universal as possible. So I can't attach those until this is already on there, so it slides under the seat nice and easy. I can't attach the hose to this because of how this needs to turn on. So we're going to set that all to the side, and we're going to make the return for this, which this one is needed to reach down and through. So we're going to take this, we're going to attach it to this T. The T is going to get an adapter because this is 3/4 and the hose is 1/2 inch. It's going to get an adapter onto there. Once the hose goes through the seat, come here, you don't do that. Don't do that. Once the hose goes through the seat, it will screw into here, and then I have this nipple, which will put on the cover and then put on here. Now this cover did not have the dipstick attached, which is like 11.5 inches with 9 1/4 inches being at the full mark. So I'm going to have to come up with some form of adaptation to that with the added nipples and extensions to make sure I have the proper amount of hydraulics in there. So I'm just going to throw this together real quick. Like I said, it's raining out. I have that hole covered, so I'm going to hold off on that for a minute. I am using PFT tape. I like doing at least 3. Make sure I'm actually on screen. I like doing at least 3. Wow. 3 layers. It's been a long day. There we go. Now, seeing as how this has very little pressure on it, and the, wow, I'm blanking today. Today is just horrible to blank. Seeing as how this has very little pressure on it, and all of this stuff is extremely highly overrated, you don't need to wrench it on there 100 million pounds, but you want to make sure it's tight and secure. Now I know this is black metal that I'm using here. I'm not concerned that much about it rusting in there due to it being hydraulic oil, and I'm going to change it out and check it regularly. So I'm not too worried about that, plus half the tractor is already like that. This one I am going to try and tighten down nicely. There we go. You're nice and tight. You're nice and tight. Now I can't attach this onto there because I need to spin the hose, but the hose needs to be through there. So we're going to add this. This end I am going to leave no tape on because that is the end that actually screws into the hydraulic body. Wow, I'm sorry about blanking today, guys. It's just horrible. I could tape that, but I've had no issues with it, and I'm not concerned. I am more concerned about losing a piece of tape down in there and clogging the hydraulics. There we go. And it looks like it's paused in the rain for a minute. So I'm going to grab everything, throw it in my pocket, and we're going to head out and try and put this all together. Okay, so we are back out. And give you a spot where you won't be in the way, but you can see. That's better. So this is where the return will be. This is where the pressure will come from. So I need a 90 from here sticking out this way, and then the pipe will go out. So the pipe will be like this, and then this pipe will loop around it and be like this. So we're going to put this pipe on in first and get it out of the way. Now, when doing hydraulic pipes, always rinse them out and blow them dry to make sure there's no crud or anything inside them. And then try and keep the ends clean and dry and out of the dirt. And as always, I ordered this extra long so that I could take out any extra in an extra long curve. But I always order extra long hoses. Not stupid extra long, but this is about 2 to 4 inches longer than I really need it to be. So that will work out in my favor. I might have done this backwards. Go. So these do fit. I didn't think they would fit underneath the seat, so I'm going to throw it on out here right now. It gives it less chance of something bunging up the threads. Or do I want to just stick it? You know, I'm just going to hold off on that for right now. I'm going to stick this out of the way. I don't know if I'm getting a full another turn out of you. So plans have definitely changed twice now while just putting this on. I need you sticking out to the end like that. This might not work as nice and conveniently as I had hoped. Would you fit? Barely. You would barely fit. You probably would get in the way of each other. There we go. Of course you take a dunker. So you see how she is going under the seat now. I'm going to get this one under the seat and then meet you back there. Sit you back there for right now. I need you, I need you, I need you. Now I am going to, unlike the other one which has that hydro pump, which I might add something like that onto here at a later date. I have to get the type, name, and all that information from it. But for the horsepower that's actually needed to just run the wrapper and run the piston on the mower, this should be more than enough. And it'll have to be enough, because otherwise I have to use the tractor to load it and then go around, hook the tractor up to the wrapper, wrap it, go around. It is possible, it is doable, it is not preferable. So I'm going to color code each of these. I don't know what exactly yet, but we will. And when I do, I will definitely let you know, because I'm going to have multiple reminders. Myself. Here we go. All right, so that is the Farmall H hydraulic upgrade. I will get some covers for that at a later date. I don't need to do it right now. Like I said, I need to ensure that works. I don't quite like how much that is. Might have to come up with something other for this, because I don't like how tight that was. Maybe I'll just move you right over to that side. But this doesn't spin when the hydraulics are on, so we'll have to get her working. Yeah, I think I'll just swap you. Of course, you're not going to swap nicely. There we go. All right, so I'm sure you didn't see any of that, but now it's swapped. Like I said, I will mark and label, cover. That way those hoses will be able to come on. I do want to do something with this, so I'm gonna come up with something or look at drawbars real quick to get an upgrade on this. I was gonna add an extension out, but I might just find something that'll bolt on real quick and beef this up. So that is it for the Farmall H hydraulic upgrade. We'll be back again with the understanding of why this is not running. I'm gonna probably just troubleshoot electrical on this for a long time and then run you through it once that happens. So stay safe, enjoy what's left of the summer even though it's cold already, and have a wonderful year.